Okay. Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. Today I have my friend Kate with me, and we will be just talking about some wonders God has been doing in our lives. I met Kate through a friend of ours, Panita, and she was going to start, doing other business for me, but God directed her in another path, and now we are here. Ready to talk about how good God has been.
He's been really good.
So, why don't you just share, Kate?
Cool, yeah. So, first off, the first miracle was just kind of meeting each other, right? Like you said.
Sure.
I came into Clean because I needed a job, and literally I asked for that, and she texted my friend asking about it, and then I got the job. And, I started it, and I was like, ooh, this is kind of hard. I don't know if I'm cut out for what I was doing. Yeah. And I asked about other, maybe I can help with, videos, maybe I can help with whatever. And I walked out doing something totally different that is much more in my lane.
Yeah.
Much more in my lane. And it's just funny how he works with that.
Mm-hmm.
About 2 years ago, God told me that he wanted me to move to California. Mm-hmm. He didn't tell me why or anything like that. He just said California. And so I told people that. And every time somebody's like, why do you want to go to California? I'm like, God told me to. And that got me a really wide range of reactions. Mm-hmm. Most of them were, you're crazy. Yeah. And then he said, probably about a year and a half ago, he's in Sacramento. I was like, okay, Sacramento. Why do you want to go to Sacramento? God told me to. Then I got Roseville. I didn't think Roseville was a town. Mm-hmm. I'm like, God, Roseville doesn't even exist.
Right.
It does exist. It's a suburb outside Sacramento.
Oh, wow. Learn something every day.
Yes. And a couple months after that, somebody told me to go to a missionary meeting. And I was like, I don't have any money. But I went anyways because God told me to.
Right.
They are a group that works freeing children from sexual slavery all over the world. They have a 90% no return rate. Everywhere else in the world for any other sexual organization is 20%. Everybody goes back because that's how they know how to make money. Mm-hmm. That's how they know how to live. Guess where their international headquarters are based out of?
Where?
A little town called Roseville, California.
Oh my goodness.
So, the reason I said that first is because over that long period of time, I had nothing but one little voice every once in a while telling me that you're going to do this or you're going to go there. And everybody else, just about everybody else, except for the one occasional person right when I was about to break, said, you're crazy. Yeah. But God knew, and I knew what God had said. Right. And so because I couldn't say it wasn't God, I grabbed onto that, and I held tight to the fact that he was in it. Mm-hmm. And he was going to take me to where I needed to be, even if I was wrong.
Right.
And he has just guided and ordered my step every step of the way. And so, through the process of being in this waiting place, because I'm still in Wisconsin, obviously, not where I want to be in Wisconsin either. I've been just taking it a step at a time as he's guided me, and also taking freedom in my steps and asking him to close the door if he wants it closed. Yeah. I still faced a lot of opposition. A lot of people who are like, no, that's kind of stupid, you're kind of crazy, you should do A, B, and C instead. And it's coming out of a good place, but it's like, this is not what God's telling me. Right. But it's hard when people are always telling you you're wrong. Yes. It's really hard. And I got to a point where I had a big blowout with some people that I really loved. And I was like, I pretty much laid down on my bed and I was like, I'm done. I'm giving up. God, if you do not show up big, I am done. And I'm going to do what I want to do. I'm not going to try and follow this anymore. Because I don't believe it's you. Right. Even after all the miracles he's done. Because that stuff I said, that is one out of thousands.
Right.
But I'm human. And I'm weak.
Yes, aren't we all?
The next day, I was going in because I had forgotten to do some work stuff. I had to go in that day to finish the work stuff, and I went in way early. And somebody had texted me a couple of days earlier telling me that it was a friend. They told me that some guy they'd never met before showed up at their door with a package asking if they knew me. And she's like, yeah, I know her. I know Kate. And she's been holding this package for me for the last couple of days. Remember the night before I said I was done if he didn't show up. So God was like, why don't you stop by church and pick this up? I was like, okay. So I stopped by church, walk in, find the lady. She's like, Kate, this guy showed up at my door and asked if I knew you. And I was like, oh no, it's some person who's like saying something bad about me or some stalker. And she's like, he gave me an envelope. She's like, it's in my car. So she brings out this padded envelope. And inside the envelope, and I was so broken that day. I was just so done. And inside the envelope, I open it up, is this letter. And as soon as I see the letter, I'm like, okay, there's money in this envelope. I know there is. It's probably like a gift card or like $100, and it's going to be exactly what I need to keep on fighting for a little bit while longer, right? So I open it up, and I'm like, it's just one paragraph, but it's just this really sweet paragraph about how a testimony that I had shared on a YouTube channel, Salty Light, had really impacted this person, and how he wanted to give this to me to meet any financial needs, and that he was praying that I continue to make an impact on God. And he said, don't ever think that you're not making a mighty impact for God. And I was like, I was already crying at that point.
Yeah.
And I pulled out this envelope, and it was a big envelope, and I'm like, there's a lot of dollar bills in this envelope. And I opened it up, and it was all $100 bills. It was $5,000.
Isn't that something?
I gave up.
Oh my gosh.
And God showed up.
Yes, girl.
I mean, I couldn't believe it. I actually almost passed out.
Oh, I would have, girl. Like, what? God, no. Not right now.
Seriously.
Really?
So he told me to go put it in my bank, so it's in my bank, and I'm waiting to see what to do with it. Because this was like last week.
Yeah. It's still happening.
It's still happening.
It's
I don't know what
happening.
the end of the story is.
Yes, right. Is there? We don't see it. We don't know. We don't know, because God says, hold on to me. And
Seriously.
and it's just incredible how, you know, when we can't see things, we can't see, you know, what he's saying, we're ready to give up. And here he's showing up,
For real.
you know, and it's definitely an inspiration.
And I gave the testimony I gave it 2 months ago. And the guy
See.
sent the money.
Right.
Now.
Yeah.
It's because I didn't need it 2 months
Right.
ago.
Yes. God says, hold on, my good and faithful servant. I have something for you, something way
real.
better than what we could ever, you know.
For real.
We're just trying to do what he wants us to do.
Yes.
And, you know, there's always something up his sleeve, and it gives me, I guess, the joy and the comfort and the peace that somebody's holding on to me holding on.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah, because I let go.
Yes, right.
I let go.
Yeah.
I heard a really funny thing once. A guy went up and he was talking about how he struggled believing what God said. And he's like, God, if you just give me one more sign. God, if you just give me one more sign. God, if you just give me one more sign. And God finally said to him one day, he's like, I could hang a neon sign over your bed and you would find it in me and you would doubt me at some point. And that's so true.
Yeah.
And I realized the other day, I'm like, that's how I've been living. I'm like, God, give me one more sign. God, if I get out to California. God, if I do this. God, if I do that. God, if you do this. God, if you do that. No.
Right.
He's like,
Yeah.
no, I said it. Believe it.
Yeah, this is it. Like I said, I was hearing, you know, little pieces and bits myself. And he's like, I'm not going to give you anymore. Why should I? Why? God, me asking God for something else. Why? You know who I am.
Yeah.
You know who I am.
Yeah.
You are still here today because of who I am.
And that's the point.
That's enough. That's what I had to learn. That's enough. So anything extra is wow. Like her testimony, I just heard it. Wow.
Seriously. But it wasn't about the $5,000.
No.
As much as I'm grateful for that, it was about the fact that God showed up.
Right.
And that he was there.
Yes.
That was what made the difference.
Moving. And it's just so relevant now, especially with everything going on that we can't see. You know?
Yeah.
We can't see to even when we pray, you know, because you said you had given that testimony 2 months ago, and you praying over the years about California,
Yeah.
you know, it wasn't even relevant
No.
to what, you know what I mean?
No, it wasn't.
It's-
You're 100% right.
But to have that happen,
Yeah.
boy, it brings tears. It brings
Yeah,
tears.
it does.
It's so incredible.
It says, and God is just he's so faithful.
Yes, yes. Every single time.
That weekend, we turned on the radio again, and another guy was giving a sermon. And usually I kind of flip away from those because I'm like, oh, whatever, I want to listen to music and sing and all that stuff, right? But he told me to stop and listen, so I did. And the guy's talking about David in the caves, because David was promised a kingdom.
Yeah.
You know, and he spent how many years? 7 years in a cave, running for his life. And God was like, and God has brought that up so many times to me, or Abraham waiting for a promise. But what the guy said is, he said, you know, so often when we're in a cave or in a closet, we can't see anything. And we're like, God, I can't see you. And God's like, I want you to hear me.
Yes.
And it was like,
close your eyes, girl. You're telling me, just close them, okay?
So what can I see anyways?
Yeah, no. Yeah, we've got these human blinders on. You know, these human blinders that just pretty much throw us here and there, you know, and God says close them. Close those human things. Open up your heart. Open up your ears. And it's time that we start doing that, because we obviously see what happens when we looking around.
Yeah.
Looking around too much, you know.
Chasing after whatever.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And we definitely lose sight of everything he's trying to do.
Yeah.
And wow, that's just awesome. That gives me encouragement, you know, just hearing how he's moving and working and in other people's lives. Just listening to what he's doing,
Right.
you know, gives me joy and encouragement, motivation, you know, just staying consistent. Because he's such a consistent, he loves consistency. He's such a constant promise.
Not about changing.
No, nothing.
Really not.
Right. Lord knows I can't handle change. You know, and that's keeping it real. Wow. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate it.
And speaking of testimonies,
Yes.
if people do want to hear the cool testimonies that God is doing in people's lives, there's a channel. We have a YouTube channel called Salty Light.
Yes.
There's a Facebook group as well. It's public, where you can see some depictions and stuff like that. And if you have a testimony that you want to share, maybe jump on there.
That's
Share what God has done.
Yeah.
By the power of his testimony, right?
Yes, and we need it.
Yeah.
We need to hear as many testimonies, as you know, as many things is going on, all things that's going on. We need that encouragement. We need that extra uplifting, that light, that Holy Ghost power.
That recent.
Yeah, for sure. So definitely go check out her YouTube page, Salty Light. I will be posting the link below. Kate, thanks so much again for coming on and sharing that word, girl. It helps me get through my day. Just listening to somebody else's testimony helps me get through my day. I promise you, because it's not about me. It's definitely not about me. We don't want to know about me. No. You know, have your eyes focused on something else is such a blessing. So thanks, Kate. I appreciate it. And thank you for watching. If you have anything to add or comment on, definitely leave your comments below, like and subscribe to the channel. Thanks.
Thank you.